It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Bonjour, and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your host, Uncle Roy, and this is my little assistant, Miss Callie. Bonjour, mon chien, Madame Callie. Oh, here, Callie. Oh, get in position for two. Madame Callie, yeah. Today we're going to do recipes that I learned in France. Here, Callie, sit free. Oh, look at that. Oh. I love Paris, yeah. Oh, aren't you such a jet setter there, Miss Callie? Oh. Mademoiselle or Madame Callie, yeah. Waiting to get out. Oh, isn't she pretty? I got her the outfit in Paris when I was there last September. I thought I was crazy over there too, and I was asking them in French for a small child's hat because I thought it would fit on her head. And she goes, and I said it in French, and she goes, "I'm sorry, sir, but we don't have any hats for dogs." But they didn't have even baby ones either, but that's regular size, and it fitted her just fine. Ain't that right, Madame Callie? Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be doing our French segments now for the next few episodes, and things that I learned in France, and I'll be showing you episodes of our videos of when I was in Paris, and showing you the places I went to, and the recipes that I learned when I took my cooking classes and baking classes in Paris. So I'm going to share with you some of my recipes that I learned in Paris. Should we get started, Madame Callie? Yeah? So just take a look at some of the footage here that I had from Paris while I was there, and I'm going to go change into my baking clothes. our first recipe from Paris, France, we're going to be making a compote de poire et crumble chocolat, which is a pear compote with chocolate crumble on top. Anyway, we got lots of things to do, so come join the trip to Paris, France. Oh, ooh la la, and bon appetit. So first, let's go to making our chocolate crumble. And what we need for this is 50 grams of butter brought to room temperature. So I have a stick of butter, it's just warming up, and I have to measure out 50 grams of that. Then, oh, bonjour, French mustache. I couldn't grow it if I tried. And 50 grams of sugar. And that's gonna go into our mixer here. And this here is my cocoa, which is going to be 7 grams of cocoa. And I took and already measured that out first since it's dry. Okay, that was 7 grams of cocoa. Then we're going to be needing 50 grams of butter and sugar. Put it in the container along with the 50 grams of sugar. What's nice about weighing everything is that you don't have to worry about the measuring cup. You use the same thing. You can just go on until you get the weight that you want. What was it, 7? Yeah. No, 50 of the sugar. Okay. I thought, oh, I went too far. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, I did. And there's 50. Now we'll just take and blend this up until it's nice and fluffy. And thoroughly blended. If you go for like 2 to 3 minutes, that's about that much you want to do it. You want to get those sugar crystals dissolved so you don't have that grittiness in there when you bake it. Okay, that's all nice and fluffy. And this is just the butter and sugar mixed together. Make sure you scrape down your sides. And now to this mixture, we're going to be adding 7 grams of the unsweetened cocoa. And this is the Hershey's dark chocolate. So it's really, any type of chocolate you put in baking, according to the class, you want to have at least 65% cacao or higher. And then we need 60 grams of flour. Okay, put that in. And that's it for that. And now we can just take and mix this up. Did say it. I'm just going to take and do the mixer, but and do it on a 1 speed. So I don't want to tighten up activate the gluten and make it tough. And then you just want to mix this up until it's all incorporated and it gets kind of crumbly. That's the crumble. And that's a little mixed up, but not completely. But I want to do it completely, finish it up with the spatula. So I want to make sure I get all those dry ingredients on the sides here and any moist ingredients on the bottom brought back up, and so everything gets mixed completely together. For this recipe, you want to take and use your hands because you want to break up this crumble. Because with a spoon or spatula, you're not going to get broken chunks, you're going to get split off even pieces. You know, you want it crumbly. By using your hands, you're going to get it to be more crumbly. You can use any size baking sheet you want to. This part doesn't matter. You know, whatever you have available. And we just take our crumble out and just crumble it over the pan. That's the crumble. And so you just want to take your fingers and just break this up. Like you would a streusel, like a streusel topping. You know, you just want to break it up. So now this will go into our preheated 200 degree centigrade, which is 400 degrees approximately in English units. So, and then we're gonna bake this for like 15 minutes, and then we're gonna let it cool to room temperature. And then when we layer it into our pear compote, a poire compote, or compote de poire, however you say it, and we wanna leave it into big chunks crumbly. So then we can just take and break it up then. But for now, we'll just leave it like this, 15 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. Okay, now that's almost done. It's got a couple minutes. While that's baking, we'll make the pear compote. And what we want to do for our pears now, oh, Madame Callie. Oh, excuse me. Oh. And what we do is just cut off the ends, just shave those off. And what you want to do then is to start from the top and just follow the outline of the pear. Or you could just take and use a vegetable peeler and then peel them that way too. I'm so used to doing it this way, this seems to be a little bit quicker for me. That's after years of practice. Get off the peel. Then we'll take and cut these in half. And using a melon baller, just take and ball out that center part, because that's all the seeds and we don't want those in there. And it comes with the stem there from the seed, goes all the way up to the top. And you can just gently slide that out. And just take and ball out that center, and I'll get rid of those seeds and then that little part of the stem. Then we'll just take and we want to dice these small. So cut that in half, that lengthwise, dice small. And we want to collect 500 grams of peeled, cut, and de-seeded pears. So let me just finish these off and then we can get back to finishing up our compote. Okay, now we got our pears all cut up. And we're gonna cook these on a low to a medium heat. What, are you gonna run and hide now, Callie? Oh, scary. Madame Callie, I'm scared. I know she's scared of the stoves. Yeah. And we got the Northwoods Cafe in the background. I'll show you a close up. And this is the Northwoods Cafe. To make it a little bit more French here today, we made a little sidewalk cafe. Oh, and there's your waitress, Madame Callie. Can I take your order? Yeah. So now we have this on a low to a medium heat. And we're gonna cook these for a couple minutes until the pears can break apart easily when you press them with a spoon. Okay, those are ready. And now we're gonna add the juice of half of a lemon. And we need also a tablespoon of water. And now we just continue cooking this until the pears start to fall apart, which is just a couple minutes. Okay, it's starting to fall apart. And now to this, we need 20 grams of sugar. Add this to our pears. And you want to continue cooking it until it thickens up. You know, these recipes are just so simple, I can't believe it. And real fancy, but they're simple. And now when this gets done, then we just turn it off and let it cool completely. And the chocolate should be cooled already. And when this cools down, then we'll put and assemble the compote, poire, and chocolate crumble. And then we'll be right back. Well, now we're all back. Everything's all cooled down. So now we can put together our compote de poire with chocolate crumble. This is the chocolate crumble right in here. And now this is our pear. And this became cooked into a nice thick sauce. You want this kind of like a thick applesauce, but you don't want your fruit to break down. So you don't want it to get saucy. You still want big old chunks in there. Because when you serve this, you want the customer or your family, friends, whatever, I'm thinking customer. You want the other person, the people to eat this, to have big chunks of fruit in it. And that's the same thing with the crumble. You want big chunks of crumble. It makes it more presenting to have these bigger chunks rather than all pureed, all cooked down. So now we just take and get some fruit glasses, and you can get these at Dollar Store. That's where I got these. Yep. I got 6 of them for, if you have a family, whatever. But now we just go to assembling these. Oh, look at her. She's just waiting for a call. Madame Callie, you waiting for a call? Oh, you want to try samples? A little sample? Yeah. Oh, crumbs. good, isn't it? Sanitize. There's a lot of things I do that you don't see behind the scenes as far as sanitizing goes and cleaning and everything else. But believe me, from my years of business, or working in the business, I know how to keep things clean and stuff. And besides that, all my food does not go out to the public. So by state law, it's okay for me to eat if I happen to drop something on the floor. Callie licks the spoon and I put it back in or something, you know. But so I don't serve the public. So it's perfectly fine for me if I happen to do that. I try not to, you know. When you're at home, you do a lot of things that you don't do. But for food safety's sake, it is good to have proper clean and sanitary conditions so you don't spread any germs and disease, you know, to your family. Oh, we're just single little kids, aren't we, Callie? Yeah, we can do what we want. Yeah. He's like, shut up and get me the final product. Oh, all right. So, we'll just do the 2 layers then. And what you want to do then is put this on a 45-degree angle so that you can get your pears in there on an angle. Now you probably, these are big glasses. Really, these are much bigger than what they had in Paris. They had them like, everything was like a shot glass type size. So if you had, they got these, you know, shot glass size like in the restaurants and bars and stuff. So these are quite a lot for what they did. Let's see, Callie. Perfect would be right in the dish rack on a 45-degree angle. So let's put away, to clear out some of these dishes, Callie. These are all clean. Because the dish rack really does work for doing your angling. Or if you do it in a refrigerator for like, if you do like parfaits or layered jellos, the refrigerator works wonderfully because then you got the wires on the shelves and you can just stick They might have them. I don't know. I didn't look, so. But I just found these at the dollar store. I think they will work just fine for what all intents and purposes are. Let's see. Can we get 3 out of that, Callie? We might be able to stretch it into 3. Let's see. Another glass here. And one of the things too, in the French cooking classes that I took, every one of them, what they stress is the cleanliness of your containers. So when we get done here, we're gonna have to wipe off any spills or juices around the rim, edge, etc. And they don't want that at all. It has to be perfectly clean. And I mentioned that in the creme brulee when I was cleaning the bowls themselves. They didn't want any drops of the pudding on the edges or anything like that. Because that's the French way, because they're so famous for their food. And that's one of those rules that you can't change or make or break. You know, you can't doctor that one up. It has to be done that way, because that's their reputation. And like I said, all the restaurants and all the bakeries, they're all in competition with each other. So they all do it too. And if they want to make theirs the best, they gotta follow those rules. That's good, because when they do judging on that, which they really do, and when they get judged, if the judge is fine, and the slightest little infraction of food anywhere, you know, boom, out it goes. And with me in the state fair, the competition that I know, if you make, you know, slightest mistakes, out the window it goes too. just got to be careful of what you're doing and how you do it. You might even want to take and use one of those long spoons that you have like for a malted milk or shake or something. You know, those long skinny teaspoons with a long handle on it to pour in here to stack it up. That probably would help out a lot, but I don't have any of those. Nothing skinny and long. Callie don't care. She just wants to, you can throw it in a bowl for her. Ain't that right? Look at you. You just sniffing around. Waiting for a sample. Speaking of Miss Callie, I want you all to know that she's doing good at the taping of the show. She was in the hospital and she had a big, huge bump on her hip. And they removed it and it was cancerous. She had stage 1. Yeah, and she's got her outfit on now. It covers up her shaved part here and her scar. She just had the stitches out the other day. Yeah, this thing. Believe me, I was going through hell. I'm worrying about her. Oh my God. There's people, even today, when people talk about it with me, it's like I just start crying and watery eyes and everything. I'm just so attached to her. I just couldn't, deal without her. And I think that's why I didn't have a pet. For like 30 years when I first moved here. One, being in Minneapolis, I thought it was just cruel to have dogs in the city and living in apartments. I'm just used to having big dogs out, in the open. And so I just never got a dog. But I think subconsciously it was, I didn't want to get a dog because I didn't want to see a dog there. Oh, I hate going through that. Oh my God. I've lost pets before, growing up as a kid and stuff, and it's just, to me, too devastating for me. I'm so emotional. And I'm a scorpion too, a double scorpion, and we are extremely sensitive to animals. So when I do have a pet animal, it's like, they're like my kid. I'm totally attached to them. And people that are animal lovers are that way. Not all, not everybody, but I am. I'm just, overly sensitive when it comes to pets and animals. She gives me such love, yeah, doesn't she? Yeah. She loves Uncle Boy. Yes, she does. She's gotta love me for me putting in all these costumes. That's another thing people ask me. They'll go, well, how come does she sit still for these costumes? How does she don't shake them off or anything? I said, no, she knows she does it. Yeah, don't you, Callie? Yeah, and she don't shake. She might, shake a little bit here and there, but the majority of the time she don't chew them or rip them off or anything. So why not just go with it, go with the flow. See, now they're starting to shape up here. And it's kind of like making a, what do you call it, those sand candles, And you can just take like a long chopstick and you can get more down in there. We had this up at an angle, so as long as you got that angle on there to start with your base, see, we still got the angle on there. We can get more of the compote in there, and you don't want to pack it tight. It's going to be even, but you don't want it tight because you want to be able to have room for your spoon. I should get some of those long spoons. We're going to need it for this to eat it. If you have any little crumbs left over, you can just throw this on top of ice cream or something, I get that with my peanut brittle. When I make my peanut brittle for Christmas and stuff, any of the crumbs and stuff like that, I save and I sprinkle those on top of the ice cream for like a butter purple effect for your ice cream. That works out great too. Okay, our compote de poire with crumble du chocolat. It's the pear compote with chocolate crumble. And you can see how it's angled out like that on the 45. It just makes a beautiful presentation. And I just put a little dash of whipped cream start on top with a little drizzle of chocolate sauce just to give it a little more appetizing look to it. Well, Callie, did you enjoy our little trip to Paris? Yeah? Well, I certainly did, and I hope you did too. And all the footage I have is from Paris when I was there in Paris last fall in September. Callie, come here. Ready for the question? Anyway, so we hope you enjoyed today's episode. We had our first show, which was the creme brulee, and this one was the pear compote with a chocolate crumble. And they're so easy and pretty, aren't they? Yeah. There's just a couple ingredients, and they were so wonderful. Callie, let's see who wrote us this week. Come here. Oh. With the reaching out in position. Oh, I love Paris. Oh, I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris in the fall. I love Paris in the winter. I love Paris most of all. Don't you? Oh, see, her little t-shirt said, I love Paris. Yeah, the scarf said, I love Paris. Bonjour, madame. Yeah. See, you wrote us. Okay. Can't open it. Dear Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, I was wondering how you can help me to keep my microwave oven cleaner. It gets all encrusted and I can't seem to get the gunk out right away. Signed, Sarah of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Oh, that's our sister city, Callie, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Hello, Ann Arbor. Yay. Yeah. Well, Sarah, yeah, there is a quick and easy way. Your dish rag, but not what you think. You want to take your dish rag and soak it down with water so it's wet. You don't want to wring it out completely dry, but still kind of drippy a little bit. And just take your rag and throw it in the microwave. And then just put it on for about 2 minutes and cook the rag. The steam from the rag is going to go up and around inside your microwave oven, which penetrates all the dried food that's been sitting in there that you haven't cleaned out, like you said, you know. And then that loosens it up. So then when you're all done, you can just take and wipe it out, and it comes out really easily. So we hope that answers your question, Sarah. And from Madame Callie, yeah. We want to say, be safe, eat healthy, and spread the sunshine. And say, au revoir, Callie. Au revoir. Yeah. Bye-bye.